It was me.
I hope I deserve this. Truly I do. I hope I'm wrong.
Lord Varys, I, Daenerys of House Targaryen, and mother of dragons, sentence you to die. Dracarys.
Welcome back to another video. Why did one of the smartest men in Westeros make one of the worst decisions of his life? Why did Tyrion Lannister hand over the only man who truly understood power, fear, and survival? On the surface, the answer looks simple. Varys committed treason, and Tyrion remained loyal to his queen. But this moment is much deeper than that. This was not just about politics. It was not just about law, duty, or punishment. This was the moment Tyrion chose hope over truth. He chose the dream he had already sacrificed everything for, instead of the friend who could clearly see that dream falling apart. And that choice did more than kill Varys. It removed the last calm and intelligent voice, standing between Daenerys and total destruction. So the real question is not simply why Tyrion betrayed Varys. The real question is why Tyrion needed Daenerys to still be good so badly that he was willing to destroy the one man who was telling him the truth. Once we understand that, this scene becomes more than betrayal. It becomes a tragedy about denial, guilt, loyalty, and the emotional cost of believing in the wrong person for too long. When Varys stopped waiting. By this point, Varys is no longer just watching events unfold, he is acting. That change is very important. For most of his life, Varys survived by staying hidden. He listened more than he spoke. He moved carefully. He influenced kings and kingdoms without putting himself in the center. That was always his strength. He understood that survival often depends on silence, patience, and timing. But at Dragonstone, he changes his method. He stops behaving like a hidden advisor and starts behaving like a man who believes time is running out. Psychologically, that tells us something powerful. Varys no longer believes the situation can be fixed from the inside. He no longer believes Daenerys can be guided back to stability. He no longer believes Tyrion's optimism has any connection to reality. He sees the signs and no longer treats them as warnings. He treats them as proof. He sees grief. He sees isolation. He sees anger. He sees emotional instability growing inside a person who also controls dragons, armies, and absolute power. And Varys understands something many people ignore until it is too late.
A Targaryen father and a Stark mother. Jon's the one man alive who might actually be able to keep the North in the Seven Kingdoms.
When emotional collapse joins political power, the danger becomes enormous. A ruler does not need to be completely insane to become catastrophic. They only need to become disconnected enough from human cost. That is what Varys sees happening. This is why he begins moving from quiet concern to open conspiracy. To many viewers, that looks like betrayal. But in Varys' mind, this is duty. He has always claimed to serve the realm, not the ruler. And now, for perhaps the first time in a long time, he is acting with complete clarity. He believes he is trying to stop a disaster before it happens. The tragedy is that Tyrion sees the same behavior and interprets it very differently. Where Varys sees necessity, Tyrion sees disloyalty. Where Varys sees danger, Tyrion sees panic. Where Varys sees truth, Tyrion sees abandonment. That difference between them is what makes this moment so devastating. They are not just disagreeing on strategy. They are living inside two completely different moral realities.
Millions of people, many of whom will die if the wrong person sits on that throne. We don't know their names, but they're just as real as you and I. They deserve to live. They deserve food for their children.
Please don't.
To understand why Tyrion betrays Varys, we need to understand that Tyrion is not thinking clearly anymore either. He is intelligent, but intelligence does not protect a person from emotional blindness. In fact, sometimes intelligent people become even better at defending the lies they want to believe. Tyrion has invested too much into Daenerys by this point. He has left his family behind. He has abandoned the identity he once lived with. He has placed his hope, his future, and his moral redemption into her cause. He needs her to be the answer. He needs her to be different. He needs her to be the ruler that justifies every painful choice he has made. This is where the psychology of sunk cost becomes crucial. When human beings give too much time, emotion, pain, and sacrifice to something, they struggle to walk away from it, even when the evidence becomes overwhelming. They do not want to admit the truth, because the truth would mean all their earlier sacrifices may have led nowhere. That would be unbearable. So instead of changing direction, they often commit even harder. That is what Tyrion is doing here. He is not simply defending Daenerys because he trusts her. He is defending her because he cannot emotionally survive the possibility that he was wrong about her. If Daenerys is failing, then Tyrion has failed too. If she is becoming dangerous, then his judgment has helped place that danger above millions of people.
Have you considered the best ruler might be someone who doesn't want to rule?
Discussing treason.
He's a man, which makes him more appealing to the lords of Westeros, whose support we are going to need.
If Varys is right, then Tyrion must face the possibility that he has spent all this time protecting the path to mass death. That is too painful for him to face honestly. So, his mind does what many human minds do under pressure. It protects itself. It narrows reality. It clings to the interpretation that hurts less in the moment. He tells himself Daenerys can still be saved. He tells himself Varys is moving too fast. He tells himself loyalty still matters. But beneath all of that is fear. Not fear of Daenerys alone, and not fear of Varys' actions. It is fear of admitting that his own dream is collapsing. Tyrion has always wanted to believe that intelligence can guide power. He has always wanted to believe that wise counsel can prevent brutality. He has always wanted to believe that words can stop fire. But now he is confronting a terrifying truth. Sometimes power does not want wisdom. Sometimes power only wants obedience. And Tyrion is not ready to accept that yet.
There's something you need to know.
Someone has betrayed me.
Yes,
Jon Snow.
Varys.
Why Tyrion chose Daenerys over Varys. This is what makes Tyrion's betrayal so painful. Varys is not just another political figure to him. Varys is one of the few people who ever treated Tyrion as something more than a joke, a monster, or a family embarrassment. Their relationship is built on mutual intelligence and shared survival. Both men understand what it means to live in systems that use people, humiliate people, and discard people. Both men know what it means to survive with the mind when brute force is not available. There is real respect there. There is real trust there. In many ways, Varys is one of Tyrion's only true allies. So why give him up? Because at that moment, Tyrion believes he is choosing the lesser disaster. He thinks sacrificing one man might preserve order. He thinks exposing Varys might restore Daenerys' trust in him. He thinks loyalty might stabilize a queen who is becoming increasingly unstable. He thinks one painful act might prevent something larger and worse. This is the fatal miscalculation. Tyrion believes that if he proves his faith, Daenerys may still listen. He believes that if he removes the threat, the system may calm down. He believes that if he kills the act of treason, he may still save the ruler from becoming what Varys fears. But psychologically, this reveals Tyrion's deepest mistake. He is still treating Daenerys like a damaged leader who can be pulled back with love, reason, and loyalty. Varys has already moved beyond that belief. Tyrion has not. And this is why he betrays the friend who sees reality more clearly. Because accepting Varys' truth would require Tyrion to act against Daenerys. And Tyrion is not yet strong enough to do that. So instead, he betrays the man who forces him to face that choice. This happens often in human behavior. People do not always attack the danger directly. Sometimes they attack the person who names the danger. Because truth creates pressure, and when people are emotionally weak, they often destroy the messenger before they confront the message. That is exactly what Tyrion does here. He cannot kill his hope yet, so he kills the man exposing its weakness.
The right ruler on the Iron Throne. I still don't know how her coin has landed, but I'm quite certain about yours.
I don't want it. I never have.
The betrayal of Varys is not just a personal tragedy. It is the moment the larger dream begins to collapse beyond repair. Tyrion has spent so long trying to build a version of power that is intelligent, restrained, and merciful. He wants conquest without cruelty. He wants a queen with dragons, but also a conscience. He wants victory without massacre. But once Varys is gone, one of the final restraints on Daenerys disappears. More importantly, one of the final restraints on Tyrion's self-deception disappears too. After this point, everything becomes more exposed. Tyrion can no longer pretend that all concerns are exaggerated whispers. He can no longer tell himself that only cowards are afraid. He can no longer hide behind the illusion that the people around Daenerys simply lack faith. The structure is breaking, and deep down, Tyrion knows it. That is what makes this so tragic. His betrayal does not come from confidence. It comes from desperation. He is not a strong man making a clean decision. He is a frightened man trying to hold together an idea that is already cracking in his hands. The irony is brutal. In trying to preserve peace, he helps clear the road to destruction. In trying to prove loyalty, he becomes disloyal to the deeper moral truth. In trying to save the future, he helps destroy it. This is why the scene carries such emotional weight. Tyrion is not evil here. He is human. And human beings often make their worst decisions when they are trying to delay a truth they cannot bear. He wants one more chance for Daenerys to be who he hoped she was. He wants one more reason to believe that all the loss meant something. He wants one more illusion. But history does not pause for emotional comfort. Reality keeps moving, and once Varys is removed, the path toward catastrophe becomes even more open.
I suppose there's a crude kind of justice. I betrayed my closest friend and watched him burn. Now Varys' ashes can tell my ashes. See? I told you.
When modern viewers look back at this moment, many no longer see it as simple loyalty. They see leadership failure. They see moral weakness hidden behind duty. They see what happens when talented people remain attached to broken institutions because admitting the truth feels too painful. That is why Tyrion's choice feels so relevant, even beyond fantasy. This is not just a story about a queen and her advisors. It is a story about what happens when intelligent people protect systems they know are failing because they cannot bear the shame of walking away too late. Tyrion's betrayal stains his character because it is not only a mistake of judgment, it is a mistake of courage. He sees enough to doubt, but not enough to act with moral clarity. He senses the danger, but he still chooses institutional loyalty over human truth. And that makes his pain afterward feel earned. He is forced to live with the knowledge that he helped silence one of the last voices of reason. Was he a coward? In some ways, yes, because he could not face reality when it mattered most. Was he trying to be heroic? In his own mind, probably yes. He likely believed he was buying time, preserving stability, and preventing something worse. But tragedy is full of people who think they are preventing disaster while actually helping it happen. That is why this scene matters so much. Tyrion does not betray Varys because he stops caring about him. He betrays him because he is still emotionally chained to a dream he cannot let die. And in choosing that dream, he loses the one friend who understood the world clearly. In the end, Tyrion's greatest failure is not that he misread Varys. It is that he misread himself. He believed he was acting from wisdom, but he was acting from fear. He believed he was protecting peace, but he was protecting denial. He believed he was serving the future, but he was serving the wreckage of his own hope. And once that happened, King's Landing was no longer just in danger. It was already, in a psychological sense, doomed. So when Tyrion revealed Varys to Daenerys, he was not simply choosing queen over traitor. He was choosing illusion over truth. He was choosing emotional survival over moral clarity. He was choosing the hope that Daenerys could still be saved over the terrible possibility that Varys was right. And that is what makes this moment so haunting. Because sometimes the most intelligent people make the most tragic mistakes. Not when they know too little, but when they know just enough to be afraid of the truth. Tyrion did not just betray Varys. He betrayed the last chance to confront reality before fire consumed everything. If you enjoyed this breakdown, then subscribe to the channel, because this is where we go deep into the psychology, emotions, and hidden meaning behind the biggest moments in stories like this. And tell me in the comments, did Tyrion betray Varys out of loyalty, fear, or guilt? I really want to know which side you're on. Also, watch the next videos on the channel, because there's a lot more to uncover.